And we're gonna say, what'd she do?
I love you and thank you for everything. I'm just kidding.
What?
All right. YouTube. We need Tony. Attention. Anthony.
Claudia?
No, Claudia.
Hi, George.
How are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Let's do over Matt Goheen. Let's do his first.
Perfect. Hamilton. Hamilton.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I think we got everybody. It's Tony. Yes. I believe that's right. Yep.
Claudia.
You're muted, Matt. All right, there we go.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. All right. Mr. Hamilton,
Yes, sir.
how you doing? All
Sir.
right. Is it just one case? You have two cases?
2 cases, Your Honor.
Okay. Did you want to call your client and testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would, raise your right hand to be sworn. You swear or affirm the testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I do have a copy of the mental health assessment that I'll consider for the purpose of this hearing.
Your Honor.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. Mr. Hamilton, you and I have discussed this before, but you understand we're here asking the court to release you on bond under mental health conditions. You understand that, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you understand as a condition of that bond, you will be required to do certain things such as seek mental health treatment and do check-ins with the court.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, should you be released, do you have a place to stay?
Yeah, at my address that I was before.
Okay, what is that?
11564 County Road,
Okay,
736 Princeton, Texas, 75407.
okay. My understanding is you were going to have a Mr. Cody Harden try to pick you up once you were released. Was that true?
If I can get them to do it, if not, I can find my way to the house.
Okay, yeah, because that has been unable to be confirmed. I think he said he wasn't going to pick you up, but should he not be able to, you have a way to get to Princeton to your house, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Now, regarding check-ins and meetings with Life Path or mental health provider, will you have transportation?
I got about like my car got impounded and I don't know if I'm still able to get it out or not. I imagine it's like more than it's worth to get it out. So I got about like I got some back pay on my SSI. So I got enough money to get me an automobile to get to where I need to go.
So you'll be able to make any and all appointments and with the court if need be.
Yeah.
Okay. Finally, you understand, should you fail to meet any of the conditions the court sets, that's appointments, check-ins, whatnot, taking your medications, that the court can and will revoke your bond and put you back in jail. You
Oh,
understand?
yes.
Pass the witness.
There's a state of any questions.
Just a few, Your Honor. Mr. Hamilton, when were you first diagnosed with mental illness?
Do what?
What was your diagnosis for your mental health illness?
Well, it was diagnosed as bipolar.
Okay. And were you prescribed any medication after that diagnosis?
Yeah. Yes, I was.
Do you know what that medication is?
Yeah. Well, it turned into a bunch of different stuff as time rolled on.
And are you getting any medication while you're in jail?
Yes.
Do you know what those medications are?
Tegretol and Zoloft.
Okay. And do you feel like they're helping you?
Yeah. Yeah, they could jack up the dosage.
Okay. And do you have a license?
For what?
For
To drive?
if you were given out, you said you have a car, you had an ability to transport. Do you have a valid license to drive yourself around?
No, every time I got an appointment to get my driver's license, something comes up.
Okay, so you don't have a valid driver's license right now.
No, not yet. But
What would be your mode of transportation then, since you can't drive?
would be a car. I mean, since I can't drive, it'd probably be a bicycle.
Okay. And I think I might have missed it. Where are you going to be staying if you're released on this mental?
11564 County Road 736.
And where is that?
In Princeton, Texas.
And would you have someone that's going to be able to drive you to your, court appointments or your mental health doctor,
Well,
anything like that?
My girlfriend, probably.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
You rest, and anything else from the state?
I'd just like to read the criminal history into the record, Your Honor.
Okay.
In 1982, the defendant was arrested for driving under the influence of liquor with no court or prosecution data available. In 1983, he was arrested again for driving under the influence with no prosecution or court data. In 1985, he was arrested again for driving under the influence with no prosecution or court data available. In 1986, he was arrested for obstruction with no prosecution or court data available. In 1998, he was arrested for resisting arrest with no prosecution or court data available. In 1988, he was arrested for possession of cocaine and sentenced to 2 years in TDC. In 1989, he was arrested again for driving under the influence and was sentenced to 1 year in the jail. In 1990, he was arrested for unauthorized use of a vehicle with no prosecution or court data. In 1993, he was arrested for burglary of a habitation with no prosecution or court data available. In 1994, he was arrested for DWI third or more with no prosecution or court data available. In 1994, also, he was arrested for retaliation with no prosecution or court data available. In 1997, he was arrested for driving while license was suspended and sentenced to 11 days. Later on in 1997, again, he was arrested for driving while his license was invalid and sentenced to 45 days. In 1997, he was arrested in 1994, he was also arrested for evading with a vehicle and sentenced to 75 days. In 1997, again, he was arrested for driving while license suspended and sentenced to 75 days. In 1997, later on, he was arrested for state jail theft, $1,500 with 2 previous convictions with no court data available. In 1998, he was arrested for arson with no court data available. And then in 2013, he was arrested for driving while intoxicated third or more and sentenced to 5 years TDCJ before he was here on his 2 cases. State rests and close.
Any argument from the state?
Due to the defendant's criminal history, we would oppose a motion at this time.
Yeah, the criminal history is just too much, and I think it's more of a drug problem than a mental health problem, and so I'm going to deny bond this time. Good luck.
I'll come see you, Mr. Hamilton. Geez, where were those records from? New Orleans?
All of it was, most of it, I've never even seen half of it. So I couldn't I tried to see if I could get any actual court data on anything, but
Well, Judge will remember, we had a whole slew. It was like, there was all this incomplete stuff for a long time. That's what that sounded like.
No, it's all Texas too, which is very interesting. Usually it's not that bad. Usually they'll give me something, but it must just be that old. So
Okay. Thanks, Judge.
See you later. Let's do whoever Don Headland has.
Headland, Wells.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You're Miss Wells, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. And did you want to call your client testify?
Your Honor, thank you. Did you want to put her under oath or do we need to?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, do you want her to testify?
I would like her to testify, Judge. I need to put on some evidence. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Sir.
Ms. Wells, if you would raise your right hand and be sworn, you swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
It also, there's a Dana Wells online with us.
That's my father.
Do you want her, Dana, brought in?
Lauren, don't speak unless you're asked a direct question, okay? Let me handle that with the judge. That's why you've got me. That's her dad. I've sent him the link. He knows that he will be muted. I don't anticipate that I'm going to need to call him, but if the state wanted to, that's fine. But he is interested in what's going to happen, and for the sake of my staff, I'd like him to be present.
Okay, so I'm going to bring him in then.
Thank you.
All right, and you want to call Miss Wells?
I do. Thank you, Your Honor. May I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, Lauren. You and I met when you first came into custody and I was appointed to you. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And at that time, you had indicated to me that you were interested in seeking treatment so that you could get back on some sort of affluency with life and maybe with your family, et cetera. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and at that time, I told you that I was going to send some people your way who work at the jail and who are a part of the mental health division. One of them is on our hearing today. You probably may not be able to see her, but it's Tony Fox. She won't be doing any talking, but she will be the person that you will. She's your go-to if should judge grant you a mental health bond today. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you met with a gentleman by the name of Joseph Hill, and we came up with what's called an action plan. Isn't that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And so you were assessed by the OSAR team on the 16th of August, and you qualified for Nexus Recovery, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Now that is a 28-day program that will treat substance abuse, and also they will assist with any mental health issues that came out of either substance abuse or if you've been diagnosed in the past. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is that your understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is only 28 days and the judge is going to want to know what you've got planned for yourself after that 28 days. You have indicated to Joseph Hill that you're going to go live with your father or sister. Is that correct?
Well, when I spoke to Miss Kimberly Cole from LifePath. She indicated to me that Nexus helps with sober living and everything. Also, if that wasn't an option, living with my father's just something like that, sober living. And I requested a resource packet here at the jail that has a bunch of information for sober living and everything like that. So.
Okay, good job. So you have a plan B after you have a plan A after you are successfully released from Nexus, and that's the sober living facility. And your plan C, I guess, would be living with family who would like to see you get a handle on your substance abuse. And then also they've been very worried about you because you disappear for weeks at a time and they don't know whether you're alive. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you have any idea how hard that has to be on a parent?
Yeah.
Okay, so not only for yourself, but for your dad, you're going to traverse these systems and you're asking the judge today to release you on what's called a mental health bond, which means nobody will have to post any money for you, but there's going to be a lot of accountability, even though aside from you having to come to court and traverse the prosecution's charges with me. Do you also understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And you have a cell phone that you have given the mental health division, and Miss Fox will be able to keep in touch with you on that, correct?
Yes.
And your
Well,
dad.
I have the service. I have to get a new phone, but I can get a $20, flip phone to keep in touch, but I have the service. So.
Okay. If the phone number changes, you know that you need to be accountable to Miss Fox for that. And then you can also text me on my office number, and I expect you to keep in touch with me as well so that I'll know where you are. Do you understand that?
Of course. Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that that is not your dad's responsibility, and my staff is not responsible for keeping your parent in touch with you or with me? Do you understand? Okay. Do you understand that should you violate any of the terms of this mental health bond, that you will once again be arrested, and there's a chance you won't get a bond at all again? Okay.
Understand. Yes, ma'am.
All right. So everybody wants to do this so that we can help you get to a place where you're self-sufficient and you're taking control over your mental health issues as well as your substance abuse issues. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're going forward into this, telling the judge that we know we have mental health issues. We know we have substance abuse issues. We need to be medical or prescription compliant, and that we're hoping that we get some help in this treatment center and in the sober living, so that your family can be helpful to you as well, right?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for this court that I have not been able to answer so far?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, I'll pass it on, Your Honor.
Does the state have any questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Wells, when were you first given your mental health or a mental health diagnosis?
I've explained that I don't really have a formal mental history because I've never had the resources to either know insurance or the resources to get that sort of treatment, mental treatment. But now that I've been given the opportunity, I saw the mental health nurse practitioner here just yesterday, and was given prescription for depression and anxiety yesterday, which I started today. So.
And what do you remember? What the names of those medications she gave you?
Lexapro and hydroxyzine.
Okay. And you said you just got given those, started receiving those yesterday?
Last night, yes.
Okay. And you had never been diagnosed with anything previously?
The one diagnosis I had was when I graduated high school. My mother was going to see a doctor for ADHD, and she took my sister and I also. So briefly, I was on ADHD medication, but that was about it at that point.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from defense?
No, Your Honor.
Rest.
Rest.
Anything else from the state?
I would just like to read the criminal history into the record, Your Honor.
Okay.
As a juvenile in 2006, she was arrested for state jail criminal mischief. That case was ultimately dismissed in 2007. In 2020, she was arrested for criminal trespass and sentenced to 15 days in jail in Collin County. And later on in 2020, she was arrested in the colony for credit card or debit card abuse. In that case, appears to be pending with no prosecution or court data available. In December of 2020, she was arrested for state jail theft, $150 to $2,500. And she was sentenced to 45 days jail. In February of 2021, she was arrested by the colony for possession of a controlled substance, category 1, under 1 gram. That case appears to be pending in the Denton DA's office. In March of 2021, she was arrested in Denton County for theft of property, $100 to $750, and given 45 days jail. In February of 2022, she was arrested by Louisville PD for possession of a controlled substance, 1/1B, 1 gram to 4 grams, with that case still pending in the Denton DA's office. Later on in February of 2022, she was arrested again for possession of a controlled substance, 1/1B, 1 gram to 4 grams, with that case still pending. In March of 2022, she was arrested for theft of property, $2,500 or under $2,500, but with 2 more previous convictions. That appears to still be pending in the Denton DA's office with no prosecution or court data available. And in July of 2022, she was arrested by Little Elm PD for possession of controlled substance, 1/1B, under 1 gram. And it appears that she has a no bond set with a hold out of Denton County as well. But the state wrestling closes now.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing else from the state.
Any argument?
The state would just make sure that she's going to be actually going to go to Nexus and would want to figure out if she has holds in Denton County or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem is I think Nexus can't hurt, especially if you want to do it. But I don't think you're going to get to go to Nexus today. I think, yes, Tony, yes.
I don't mean to interrupt, Judge, but I wanted to let you know that I'm working with my counterpart, an Erica Baldwin over in Denton County, to potentially have a smooth transition for her to be sent to Denton County. And when Denton County is ready to release her, she'll still need to provide some form of transportation because LifePath would do it from here, but they won't do it from Denton County.
Gotcha.
Provide some sort of transportation, a family member or something along those lines to Nexus. So we're working to make that work if we can.
Okay. Well, what I'm doing, yes, ma'am, Dawn.
Judge, I think Dad would be willing. I think we need to put him in touch with the right person, and
I'm not worried. Yeah, I'm not worried about transportation. That's the minor thing. I just worry about her getting stuck in Denton forever. But I'm going to go ahead and give a bond, and part of the bond, though, is you're going to have to successfully complete Nexus and any follow-up care. And I think it sounds like you're willing to do it at this point, but
Yes, sir.
you're not going to get anything out of it unless you're willing to actually do all that stuff. So, and then so what we'll do is you'll probably get shipped to Denton first, and then as soon as you get out of Denton, stay in touch with everybody, and they'll work to get you to Nexus as fast as they can. Okay. If you need a ride, they'll help you find the ride. And it sounds like your dad will take care of that for you too, though. Okay.
Mhm.
Good luck. Tony, do you want to say anything else?
Yes.
When you get transferred to Denton, a lot of times the folder that I have put in your property doesn't always make it. So just make sure that when you get out, your attorney has my phone number. So contact your attorney, get my phone number. Also, when you get to Denton, Erica Baldwin is the person that I'm working with. And so you might request to see her and see where we're at in that whole situation of getting you to Nexus, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a phone number for Erica Baldwin that I could document my file with?
I'll email that to you.
You're wonderful, and I can pass that along to Dad. Thank you so much.
Thank y'all. Good luck.
Be
Thank
excused,
you.
Your Honor. Be excused, Judge.
Yes. See you later.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Whoever Maria 2 represents.
Okay, that is gonna be.
What's your name?
Stella Morales.
Morales. All right. All right. And did you want to call your client and testify?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you would raise your right hand and be sworn, you swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Yeah, I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I will consider it for the purpose of this hearing.
Thank you, Judge. Stella, so you were recently arrested for the offense of harassment of public servant. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, at the time when we filed this writ, you have not been indicted, right?
Yes, ma'am.
But since that time, they have indicted you. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Okay, well, you were indicted last Friday. So at this time, your bond is currently set at, I believe it's $7,500. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you able to pay for that?
No, ma'am.
So my understanding is that you have been through the Collin County Court system before, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a continuing, am I correct about that?
Now what? You cut
It
out.
broke up.
I'm sorry. My internet is not very stable, Judge. So I'm going to try to move to a different location. So Stella, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have had mental illness diagnosis before, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
And what are those mental illnesses?
I got depression, and Father Seraphim from the Orthodox Church, he went with me, and they just diagnosed me not too long ago. I was taking the shot. He would go with me every month to get it, and I was taking it's for bipolar schizophrenia.
Okay. Are you currently on any medication?
Yes, I'm taking the hard, or it's spelled HALDOL.
Okay. If the judge were to give you a mental health PR bond, where would you live?
At 1207 Lindsay Street.
And where is that? Your apartment? Is that where?
It's a house. I got a room that I rent.
Okay.
I pay
Is that,
$300 a month there.
I'm sorry, how much?
$300 a month.
Okay. And is that where the incident happened?
No. It was at the Handy Mart. I go walking a lot, and I was at the Handy Mart. I had made a call, and whenever he had because Lopez asked me
Okay,
to.
so Stella, I'm not gonna go into the actual case itself. I just wanted to know whether or not that was the place where the incident occurred. It's not,
No.
right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and how would you be able to come to court and abide by the judge's rule?
Father Seraphim, we was actually talking about before I came to court. We was actually talking about me getting back into counseling and stuff the way I needed to. Like before, Kayla used to take me from Life Path, but she don't work there no more. So Holland Seraphim, my pastor from the Orthodox Church, he takes me back and forth to rides and stuff. He even said Monica and Augustine, they also go to our church, that they could help take me back and forth.
Okay, well, you've been through this program, you've been through the mental health before, and a lot of times it's because of transportation, you're unable to make it to court. Are you going to be able to make an effort to come to court?
Yes. Holland Seraphim, Father Seraphim, he was bringing me back and forth, but I quit going to see Kayla because once I completed it with Kayla, she had moved to a different job. And Holland Seraphim, he's been bringing me back and forth to appointments and stuff right now. He's the one who.
Are you making a commitment to follow the judge's order?
Yes.
Okay, and none of this excuses, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay, pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
No questions at this time, Your Honor.
Anything else from defense?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
I would just like a moment to read the criminal history into the record, Your Honor.
I'll give you a moment.
In 2012, she was arrested for prostitution in Dallas County and sentenced to 30 days in jail. In 2013, she was arrested for assault, bodily injury of a family member with no prosecution or court data available. In 2014, she was arrested for criminal trespass. In that case, was ultimately dismissed by the DA's office. In 2014, later on, again, she was arrested for criminal trespass and sentenced to 2 days in jail. In 2018, she was arrested again for criminal trespass and eventually sentenced to 8 days in jail. In 2019, she was arrested for criminal trespass of a habitation shelter and sentenced to 25 days in jail. And before her charges here today, the state closes at this time.
Any argument from the state?
Due to the mental health assessment, we would oppose, and the nature of the charges, we would oppose a motion at this time, or the PR bond at this time.
Yeah, I seem to remember her being on bond with us, and it didn't work out very well. She wasn't able to comply with the bond conditions, and I don't think we want to spend time doing that again. So,
Judge, I also asked that if you're not granting the PR bond to consider reducing her bond so that she could at least have an opportunity to bond out.
all I do is either grant or deny the PR bond, mental health PR bonds. Whatever court it's assigned to will have to reduce the bond, or they could even give her just a regular PR bond. So, okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
all.
Seat over there for me, okay? Great,
Judge,
thank
may I be
you.
excused?
See you later. Thank you.
Morning.
Stella, you have to take a deep breath and be quiet, okay?
All right. Are you Miss Walker?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. And I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I will consider for the purpose of this hearing. And did you want to call your client to testify?
Yes, I do.
If you would, raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so be God.
Yes, sir.
You can go ahead. And then, like I said, I have a copy of the mental health assessment. I'll consider it for the purpose of this hearing.
Thank you. Raven, you are a person with mental illness, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and how long have you been diagnosed?
I got diagnosed when I was 19.
Okay, and what is your diagnosis?
Severe depression and anxiety.
Okay, and in fact, did you just get out of Wellbridge Hospital a few weeks before you were arrested?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you have a plan if you're released to get back into services at Metro Care and continue your medication and seek employment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You haven't had any problems finding a job in the past, correct?
Never.
Okay. And you have a support system and your mother, your brother, and you have a child.
Yes.
Okay. And you will do whatever this judge orders you to do, including possibly AA meetings or anything else.
Yes.
Okay. And you know that you have to call Miss Tony. You haven't met her yet. But she is on this call once a week. And then you will have to come up here once a month to visit with this judge to make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yes.
Okay. And you don't have any previous criminal experience, history, do you?
I have a case that was dismissed.
Okay. Okay. But you haven't been convicted of anything, correct?
No.
And no assault of history.
No.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Walker, where would you stay if you were released on a PR bond?
In Garland. The address is 937 West Brand Road.
And who would live there with you? Or is that like a house or an apartment?
It's a house.
Would you stay there by yourself or?
No, I have friends that stay there.
Oh, just
And-
friends? Okay.
Yeah, my brother actually stays in Garland and my mom.
Okay. And are you getting medication or have you been receiving any medication since you've been in jail?
Yes, the whole time.
And do you feel like that's helping you?
Yes.
And will you have a car, or do you have a car or access to transportation if you were released?
I would take a lift or I'll get a ride from my brother or
Okay.
the.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Anything else from defense?
No, Your Honor, rest and close.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing else from the state, Your Honor.
Any argument from the state?
The state will defer to the court.
Yeah, Miss Walker, we're going to get you out on bond today. You've got to do what you said you're going to do. Basically, the rules are you've got to call Tony every week, let her know how you're doing, and check in with her. You'll come to see me once a month. Expect to be drug tested when you come to see me. 'Cause I don't think you have a drug problem. I'm not sure. But you could be drug tested when you come to see me. We only want in your system the prescribed drugs that you're supposed to have in your system, okay? Tony, did you want to say anything?
Yes, Judge. Raven, hi, I'm Tony. I just wanted to touch base with you real quick. Like, you know, when you get released, you'll find a folder in your property. Inside that folder is my card. I would like you to call me tomorrow so that I know that you made it home okay. I have not been able to arrange any ride for you, so you'll have to call for a ride once you get released, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I will see you soon. Make sure you follow the rules. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. all.
you, Judge. May I be excused?
See you later.
Thank you.
Judge.